Well, hey everybody, Jake T, Serenity Farms prepping here. Haven't been on for a while, been real busy, have made some videos, just somehow haven't got around to downloading them, which takes forever, and editing, which I don't do, so we'll get to it. But this is one I felt I had to make right now. So I just got done working for the day around the compound. Hit the outdoor shower, got an appointment, but I just felt compelled to make this one. Alright, this is about socialism, communism, Marxism, all of which we are seeing now from the libtards. There are no more liberals, there are no more Democrats. You are a socialist at the very least, and a communist, Marxist, globalist, if you're one of the big shots. Alright, so, we are in serious trouble. By we, I mean non-libtards, aka patriots mostly, and the country as a whole. What we are seeing now with the terrorist groups, BLM and Antifa, that's not because of anything except an effort to erase our history completely, as we've always known it, to start again with a brave new world known as socialism, communism, utopia, third world, shithole, cabal. Okay? You know, the rioting, the burning, the looting, the murders, the racism, the white hatred that we're seeing now has been fomenting for a while by intent. So let's do a real short history to how we got where we are now. Since the founding, there have always been people who hated what America stood for, even though they have reaped the benefits of everything America has provided. They just hate, well, they don't hate freedom. They hate that all of us have freedom. Big difference. We believe everyone is free, everyone is equal, and life is going to be what you make it. Yeah, there are some injustices along the way for everyone at some point, some level, sometime in their life. And we strive to do away with those and make everything better. Then on the other hand, there are people who don't want any of what I just mentioned for anybody except themselves and their small group of elitists. So, as we all know, the facts, these are not disputable. They all happened before any of us were born. Any of us. So, this is about racism. And erasing our history is about erasing the fact that Democrats are responsible for the very first slave owner and slave who were both black. white people sold white people into slavery. And throughout recorded history, the odds are very good that there are more white slaves than there was of any other race or nationality to date. But you're not going to hear that. Okay, a black slave owner was the first man to own a slave who also was black. The Civil War was a direct result of Democrats not wanting to give up slavery. President Lincoln was assassinated in large part due to the fact that he ended slavery. Emancipation Proclamation, anyone? Over 700,000 patriots, mostly white, sacrificed their lives to help end slavery. The Civil War is because the Democrats didn't want it to end. And they've been in one ever since. But a lot of us didn't realize it. So they've been plotting and planning, and all these statues being torn down, when a vast majority of these statues had nothing to do with slavery or racism. On a negative point, they were all folks who tried to abolish and refute it. But the libtards, the useful idiots that are wandering around aimlessly, throwing a rope around the neck of any statue they see and pulling it to the ground, have no freaking clue. Because they're clueless. They've been stirred up by their puppet masters who have an agenda. Let's take Shaun King. Very well-known racist and supposedly the most popular personality for the terrorist group BLM. There can be no doubt he's a racist. Every time he opens his mouth, it is a racist statement. The man is so filled with hatred. I have never heard him speak of anything except his hatred for white people, mostly men. So his statement a couple days ago, after all the statue burning, the rioting, the looting, the assaults, the murders, was that now it's time to go after Jesus. Any statue, stained glass window, mural, painting, image of Jesus is a symbol of white supremacy and racism. Alright, once again, this has nothing to do with racism by white folks. It's all about racism from blacks to get what they want, because they also happen to be Marxist. So if they can erase all of our history so that the libtards have no clue that the people that they blindly follow are overwhelmingly responsible for the majority of the ills in this country, and they have to eliminate free speech for anyone who's not of their ideology, which is why we see people stating all lives matter, which they do. And then these people are losing their jobs, they're being fired, they're being beaten for saying all lives matter is a racist statement now. Do you see what they're doing? With the help of the libtard politicians, the fake news commies, anything anybody says will be deemed racist by BLM, Antifa, the fake news, to keep stirring the pot. They need total societal collapse to usher in their brave new world with the help of blue helmets and red crescents, probably. This is going to get very worse because until now, patriots have been extraordinarily calm and have not reacted how I believe many of us want to. And to be perfectly honest, we need to. There is no compromising with the left. Where has that gotten us in the past? Every time we've compromised, it has been our side that compromised, not the left. This bipartisan crossing the aisle bullshit has never worked for us. It's give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And that's what's been happening over the years. Everything seems small, so we just let it go. Because morally and ethically, we're better than that. We just keep thinking, oh, if they get this, doesn't seem like that big a deal at the time, they'll stop. They won't go more. I have never had that attitude. I know they're kind. They're predators. They're scumbags. You have to be in their mind and know their ultimate goal. There will be no stopping them until they achieve turning the USA into a third world shithole run by a bunch of global elites enslaving those of us who are capable of working. So this all leads me to the point of the title of this video. Have you had enough yet? I made a video a little while back, when is enough enough, how much are we going to take? That was just when the pandemic was starting. I thought people would very quickly see the scheme and what's being, or how it's being used by the left, and it never happened. Not like it needed to. I still see sheeple every day, wearing their mask, wearing their gloves, looking at you like you're from another planet. It's frustrating. Okay? But that was part of the grand scheme also. I don't know if it fell into their laps, the libtards, or they had a hand in it, which I believe they do. I don't know that it was to help enact the plan, but I have to assume it was. So, have you had enough, and what are we going to do about it? Right now, we're very frustrated. We're showing remarkable restraint. Where I live, it has barely touched my area. Yeah, we got a lot of knuckleheads in town. They had bust in some little BLM. I very seldom go down there. I avoided that day. But just because I live in an area that likely will never be a focal point of any of these scumbags doesn't mean whatever's happening doesn't affect me. I'm looking at the big picture. Because eventually, if these scumbags get any kind of power, you already know what's going to happen. So, very likely these pieces of shit will promote some kind of false flag event to get patriots to react. Then they'll have their media narrative. It'll be blamed on anybody except who actually caused it. And you can guess where it'll go from there. I don't know what you want to do to stop all this. My personal opinion is the road only leads to one destination. We've been there before. There's a good meme on Facebook that I've seen posted a few times that quotations. Are we going to have a civil war because people are upset about the first Civil War? And the answer is very likely yes. But we need to do that on our terms, not the libtards. At some point, we have to just say enough is enough. The people that we elected to prevent this kind of thing from happening are either spineless, likely, in on it, don't think so, afraid, yes. Either way, none of those excuses cut it. We can take care of the jellyfish of the GOP in November if we get there. But right now, they're all we got, and they're not doing it. They have no plans to try and do anything. So what are we going to do? We need to think about this. I only see one option. It's not a good one. But if that's what I am called to do, that's what I'll do. So, like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't like, don't care. But I'd like to know how you feel about this. So for now, JT, signing off.